Okay guys, so today I'm going to be showing you my current setup for what I bring to games. None of this is sponsored, this is just what I currently use. So this is my bucket right here, and it has a screw off lid, which I really like. The kind that you have to pull off are a lot harder to get off, and one of the things that I look for in a bucket is being able to get into my items really fast. So I really like that this has a screw off lid. So they sell these Gamma Seal lids separately, so you can put them on any 5-gallon bucket, and I highly recommend getting one of these because it makes getting into your bucket so much easier. I also have this backpack accessory, and this makes it so that carrying my bucket is just a lot easier. I don't have to carry it by the handle all the time or like something like this. And at least for me, my games are like really far apart. I have to walk like a huge amount of distance to get to the next field. So having it be portable and being able to wear it like a backpack is really nice. Like, it's really easy. It's really easy to just hop and go on, and then you're ready to go. So I'm a huge fan of this setup. This is what I currently use right now. So up first in the side of the bucket is we have my water setup. So I drink both water and Powerade throughout the game. For me, if I just drink water, then I don't feel like I get enough energy back. If I just drink Powerade, sometimes I'm not hydrated enough. So I drink both of these throughout the game, and I've been really happy with the results that I get from this. So a big thing I like about this water bottle is that the lid totally closes. Like, I've had a lot of problems with water bottles in the past, like leaking or whatever, and I never have any problems with this. So I've been really happy with this water bottle. Up next is my filming setup. So I currently film all my games now, and I use a GoPro Hero 4 Black with a stabilizer. So for me, like, the biggest thing that I look for my filming setup is that it's super easy for me to give it to somebody else. And this setup is what I found to be the easiest for other people to film with, because GoPros have really wide angles, so it gets more of the field than normal, so it's a lot easier to get the shot than maybe a DSLR or a better, nicer camera. But yeah, so the GoPro goes on this stabilizer, and the stabilizer keeps it steady so that there's no shaking. My footage isn't like the super best quality ever, but it's good enough for me, and I've been happy with this setup. The biggest pro to using this setup over like using multiple cameras is that you aren't just taking up a huge amount of storage space on your external drives. Like, when you use 2 or 3 cameras, it's gonna be like 100 gigabytes a game, and that was just way too much footage for me. It makes editing more difficult, it makes everything more difficult. So this is my current setup that I use. So this stabilizer is the Evo GP Pro, and I really like this stabilizer because the battery life on it is amazing. I can get through 2 full games without changing any batteries. I don't have to change the GoPro battery, I don't have to change these batteries either. It lasts the whole game, and that's really awesome for me. That's like the biggest reason why I went with this stabilizer over some other ones. This one is a little bit of a pain to get the GoPro on though. Some of the other ones are way easier. You see that these have like these screw mounts, and it's a decent, it's not super hard, but it's definitely more time consuming than some of the other ones where you just like click it on and then just go. So next I have rock climbing chalk. So this is something that I use when it's really hot out. So what you do is the rock climbing chalk goes on your hand, and then it wicks away like a lot of the sweat. So it does a really good job of not making your hands feel sweaty at all. And all you have to do is just wipe your hands on your shirt afterwards, and then it will be off and you're ready to go. Next are layout gloves. So right now I use gloves mostly for the rain, and these do a tremendous job of performing in the rain. I have some clips of me playing in a just horribly rainy game recently, and you'll see that I make a lot of throws in this game and I felt awesome. The disc never slips for me at all. I feel completely in control of all of my throws when I'm using these gloves. I cannot recommend them enough for the rain. I also will use them for the cold, but they stay in my bag mostly for the rain. So next are running socks. So I used to have a really big problem of getting blisters on the bottom of my feet, but once I started using running socks, I've never had that problem again. So these type of socks, they have a little more padding than normal, and they also do a better job of just sweat control. And once I started using these, I've never torn my feet since. So I really recommend running socks if you have blister problems like I do. So next is a sweatband. So this is something that I cannot play without. So I wear it on my wrist, that is the bottom hand for catching. And what this does is it protects my wrist from the rim rubbing against it. And I used to also have a problem of my wrist just being bruised up all the time because of the constant rubbing from catching. But once I started wearing this, I've never had that problem again. And I just really love these. I cannot recommend this enough if you have that problem. So I use these Wilson sweatbands. I really like these because they don't shed. A lot of the other brands that I've used, they'll shed on my hand, and it's really annoying. So these are really cheap, they don't shed, and I've had good results with them, so I recommend them. Next are my cleats. So these are the current cleats that I use. They are the Nike CTR 360s, and I really like them. They fit my feet really well. I also really like this stud pattern. They're more of the pointy kind over the round kind. And I find that this gives me a little more better grip than the circle kind. So I've been really happy with these. They're kind of old, so I don't know if you can find them anymore, but I'm a big fan of these. And finally, we have my scoreboard. So for score, it's just something really nice to have, to always be able to see what the score is. For a lot of my teams, when I first started, we were just really bad at keeping score. I'm pretty sure I lost 4 or 5 games throughout my career because my team didn't keep score and we just had to go off of what the other team said. And when you have a scoreboard, you never have that problem again. So it's just something that's really nice to have, and it's just nice to not have people constantly asking you, what's the score, what's the score, what's the score? People can just look at the scoreboard and then you're good to go. Also for this, you'll notice that I put clothespins here. So what this is for is when there's wind, these flaps will push over and then you don't know what the score is. But if you clamp this down and it comes over, this keeps your score. So all you have to do is push it back and then you know exactly what your score was again. And that's it.